Sunderland are one of two English clubs reported by BILD to be chasing Bayer Leverkusen winger Ernest Poku, with the German side asking €25 million, around £21 million. They want him sold before their pre-season tour begins on the 1st of August, which leaves everyone involved about 8 days. A selling club setting its own deadline is the nearest thing to leverage a buyer gets, and it usually softens a price rather than holding it up. What complicates the arithmetic here is that Leverkusen paid €10 million for him a year ago and now want 2.5 times that, which is precisely the trade Florent Gisolfi runs at the other end. Sunderland would be buying at the peak of somebody else's profit curve. The reason the club will look anyway is what sits underneath the fee. A 22-year-old who managed 5 goals and 5 assists in the Bundesliga while completing the full 90 minutes just twice all season. That is a rate of return per minute that most scouting departments would flag immediately. And it exists because Leverkusen used him as a squad player after bringing him in to replace Jeremy Frimpong, not because he could not handle more. Dissatisfaction is doing the rest of the work. A player who wants out and a club that wants cash before a training camp are two halves of the same discount. And this is the situation the recruitment model at the Stadium of Light was built to spot. Young, productive, briefly unwanted, with obvious room to grow into a bigger role and an obvious resale market if he does. The awkward part is the clock. Sunderland's advantage over richer rivals has been process, the patience to keep watching until a valuation falls to where the data says it should sit. 8 days removes that entirely. Nottingham Forest are reported to be interested in the same player, and a compressed window with 2 buyers in it produces an auction, not a bargain. The club that wins this is the one that decides fastest, which is the opposite of how Sunderland have operated since coming up. Where it stops being a gamble is the calendar. A forward who has spent a season being productive in short bursts is not a compromise for a squad playing Thursday and Sunday. He is the ideal shape for it. Regis Lebris needs attackers who arrive off the bench and change matches without a run of starts to warm into, and Poku has done nothing but that for a year at a high level. Pace of that kind is also the hardest thing to replace, which is partly why Leverkusen have priced him where they have. So this one confirms the method rather than testing it, with a fee at the upper edge of comfortable. The 1st of August is the date that matters. If Sunderland have not made a formal offer by the end of next week, someone else will have.